Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, 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 and welcome to the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by SRP and VRS. We are here at Okayama. We're continuing our Japan leg of our Formula 3 series, and it's going to be a lot of fun. 60 plus cars here at Okayama. We just came from Fuji, and it's going to be a lot of action here today. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Aaron Smith, and we got Samuli Kumo in the production booth, and we're here live, and y'all are also live, watching us live on Apex Racing TV. Aaron, how are you feeling today?
Feeling very spicy for this race, to be fair. I mean, it's going to be so interesting to see how some of these drivers handle the heat of Okayama, as it's actually not too bad for this race.
It's 39 degrees. It's pretty toasty out there, but hey,
considering for the rest of the week, it's been worse.
Yes, it has been worse in the official series, but 39 degrees out there on track. It is pretty hot, but some of these drivers might be used to it. I'm certainly used to it. So if you aren't from Texas, you aren't going to like this, but if you are used to southern weather, this is pretty normal for us so far this year. But yeah, these tires are going to be very, very, very important to keep alive, especially on this long race format that we run here in iGPFun. Qualifying is currently underway. It's currently ending right now, as everybody is just putting in their final laps, as we got one car going ahead down the straightaway right now. I'm not sure who that is. That just came across the line. I'm going to go out there and say that was Mohammed Boalik, as everybody's just putting in their final laps. 30 minutes of our qualifying clock has ended, and we just passed over 2 minutes over, so we should be hopping over to our qualifying results and our grid right about now. It is Thiago Marteau starting up on pole, followed by Jerome Lamy and Will McIntyre Jones. Lucas Maruk and Cody Grams right behind him. Julio Policio in 6th place, followed by Marcelo Kessler, Caleb Patry, Alex Lado, followed by Leonardo Cherry, David Boutidar, and Andy Flint behind them. Darren Rollinson and Timu Milicongas, followed by Massimo De Laurentiis, Luca Verani, and Alistair Hay, Tony Jimenez, Pedro Soares, Evan Way, Simon Fessy, Lee Aberdeen starting in his lowest start so far this season, down in 22nd. Nicholas Westman and Andrea Becchetti in 24th. Behind them is Udis Pudukelis, Christian Glamster, Clark Williams, Marcus Otzalov, St. Clemens, Punzengruber, Adam Talisman, Paulo Breme, Robert Ridgway, Zolta Zomer, Mohammed Bolalik, Irwin, Tubacans, and Stu Millen. Behind them is Nick Carty, Richard Van Veen, Phil Waller, Giovanni Soletto, Linus Mao, Ben Goyette, Marcus Punakes, Jacob Olzweiski, and Potapenko, and Ivan Koski, Kujiado, and Justin Friesen in 48th place. Behind them is Reed Dennis, John McKenzie, Reno Scatini, Matt Brewer, Alex Hopkins, Matthew Gracie, Martin Devine, Dorian Arroyo, Arto, Margoria, Christian Perez, Pedro Gerarba, and J.R. Schomburg, followed by Gerard Carrebra and Roy Collins at the back of our 62 car grid as we are all lined up and ready to rock and roll here at Okayama.
Did that with 10 seconds to spare. Nice one, Austin.
I decided to pace myself with that.
Well, let's get ready to go.
Cars are all lined up and we are ready to rock and roll as we are green, green, green here at Okayama. It's a great start by everybody in the first two rows. Grams gets an all right, good start as he's battling with Baruch as we go side by side heading into turn one. This is going to get a little bit dicey between them, but Marteau leading out Lamy, McIntyre, Jones, Baruch, Grams, Mauricio, Kessler, and Patry, followed by Lando and Boutiar, currently our top 10. Everybody currently right now just being very well behaved and getting through these opening corners. Okayama can get pretty slick as we head into the hairpin for the first time.
Yeah, these cars on lap one, especially with the amount of fuel that these guys have to carry, is going to be so understeery and oversteery at the same time on corner exits. So it's surprising that everyone has managed to keep it fairly clean. As you see the entire grid now coming down this straight, it is a beautiful sight. As
Caleb Patry looks down to the inside right there. Beautiful move on Kessler. They were lined up side by side, but Patry got a great run coming out of the hairpin as we head into one of the more crucial corners this week in track limits. Is going to be very strict on that double left-hander. You have to keep two wheels on the black stuff, and oh, no, 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 no. Chaos at the hairpin.
We were just saying, oh dear, and it's getting even worse.
No.
I think some of that was intentional.
I don't think there's some. I don't think there's some that intentional. But we got cars up on two wheels. We got Formula 3 cars on top of Formula 3s, making Formula V babies. But there is a lot of stuff. Ivan's around, involved in there. Gracie, Schomburg, Carrera are all involved as Thiago Marteau leads out the field currently in front of everybody else. But oof, I've got to say that start was not good.
No, I believe that was, I think, around 10 cars involved. I think
more
10
than
or 15.
10. We still got a lot of stuff going on. Paulo Breme is off, and he's got to watch that rejoin, or else he's going to get in front of everybody else, and that's at turn one. So chaos here at Okayama.
Yeah, there's a car crawling through turn two, and turn three as well. It's absolute chaos. Some of these drivers. Again, no clue what happened so far, but it all just seemed utter chaos down at, I think that was turn 6 where the incident happened. Corner names quite difficult to keep track of on this track, but
well, luckily
at the
for
front,
you,
it's fairly calm.
Okayama turn names are usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, I know the first
Mike
corner
Knight
is just first corner.
And
yeah,
my favorite, Mike Knight corner.
That. Yeah, I thought you'd be able to remember that, but
not
still
related
calm
to
at the
Mike
front,
Knight
though.
at all, but you know, just very happy.
Yeah, but it's all calm at the front though.
Oh, that's Burketti off.
Just incident at the last corner. Then, what is going on with some of these drivers? I predicted before the race it would be fairly clean, but it seems I was completely wrong. Yeah.
They listen to your prediction and be like, oh, prank him, John.
The Latvian driver there getting involved in an incident. Alistair Hay under pressure now from the number 4 car of Lorientes. Now coming down the back straight. Alistair Hay getting the benefit of slipstream on the outside though.
And this is Laurentis. Laurentis looking down towards the inside. Side by side, they're going to go. Bit of a lockup by Luca Verani up ahead as Massimo just kind of stuck out there, and he's going to just try to follow Alistair Hay. And Luca Verani, track extending both wheels and going actually pretty wide, getting into the dirt on the outside. He's going to have to be hard on himself after this race, and he's going to hate me for saying that, but even the admins fall to my mic.
And I think everyone on the watch party after the race will be enjoying your lovely comments, just pointing and snitching on Verani. He'll be very pleased about that.
He's not going to like that. I think a lot of people are going to like. I feel like everybody's going to see that. After that start, so the total drivers that were involved or lost places were Reed Dennis, Reno Scattini, Mohamed Bolik, Robert Ridgway, Paulo Breme, Matt Brewer, Ivan Kosnowski, Matthew Gracie, J.R. Schomburg, Stu Millen, and Massimo De Laurentiis is around at turn 2, and that's a front wheel off the car, and that's a front wing missing as well. And he joins the list, as well as Stu Millen and Gerard Carrebra.
Yeah, very awkward place to have an incident. It might have locked the rears or something.
Aaron, I've had this incident so many times. You just get a little bit too excited coming out of turn 2, especially it with me in the ARL MX5 series, and you did that in front of the entire field, and might have taken out the entire field.
I certainly don't remember this whatsoever.
I remember this because I won that race.
Oh.
After doing that, and I didn't get penalized.
I remember winning here. I think I won in the feature. Yeah, I'm not sure. I remember winning one of the races. I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was race 2 or race 3 where it happened. I'm not sure. I think I've done it both times. But both of us know that Okayama can get pretty crazy.
Yeah, it can, but it can also be very boring.
Very vague, and that's not vague. Right behind Darren Rollinson's around. He got into the grass at the edge of the curve, and just got collected.
Who was that? Who went past him?
I think that was Luca. No. That was not Luca. That was Andy Flint. Andy Flint was the one that made contact.
Oh, that was so unfortunate, just coming around that corner. He was absolutely blind.
Antonio Jimenez is off the track.
It's absolute chaos right now. What is going on with these drivers in these opening 5 laps?
I think somebody might have been playing D&D before this and rolled luck, and everybody rolled 1.
It's absolute chaos out there. I'm not sure what some of these drivers are up to, but maybe not expecting the car to behave as it is on heavy fuel.
Andy Flint is really it might be the fuel level and just drivers not used to it, but Andy Flint, it does look like he has a little bit of suspension damage. And that is Punzegruber off the track at the double left-hander.
Yeah, he definitely picked up too much gravel on the outside, I think. And,
I feel like he was just already sliding because it looked like a pretty tight line from the tire marks. So I feel like if we ask for any sort of replay, Samuli will slap us and tell us not even to ask. Because
well, I mean,
there have been so many incidents and so much action that I feel like a few of the drivers be glad that we do not go into the replay.
we just ignore their fumbles in this race. There's been so many already, and we're only on lap 6. We've still got 30 more to go.
Yeah, 30 more to go. And a lot of action here in iGPFun presented by SRP. And SRP just released the R Series the other day. R Series with a specific brake piston is designed for professional drivers who require maximum fidelity in the braking zones of current competition vehicles, both TCR, GT, LP, and single-seaters. Designed with the latest pneumatic and software technologies to support a range from low braking pressures and up to 160 bar, fully adjustable with maximum precision. They simulate the forces exerted by real state-of-the-art braking systems, allowing true-to-life progressive braking to be controlled from the initial peak of the apex of the curve with millimeter progression. All these features are thanks to our innovative pneumatic technology. With our exclusive SRP software, you can adjust the maximum brake force in real time and visualize the value by overlaying the window included on software on your monitor or your virtual reality glasses over your game. Thank you, SRP. And thank you, everybody on track, for not getting into an instant while I was reading that.
Yeah, well, I'd just like to quickly mention the top 4 are in a league of their own compared to the rest of the field. They're in the mid-22s with Motto, sort of at the low end of the 22s, but everyone setting high or low 23s right now. So
We're
yeah,
watching Clark Williams right now. But yeah, the top 4 really pulling away. Watching Clark Williams heading to the hairpin. You can see the brake rotors glow up heading into that hairpin. He was so hard onto the brakes. Watch him head into this hairpin. We're going to see it around the outside move. No, it's too far back behind Evan Way up ahead, but they are nose to tail of each other. Already a lot of tire marks in that first of double left corners as Clark got a little bit sideways entering that second left.
I think honestly the smart idea for some of these drivers, especially in the midfield now, is to just chuck the brake bias forward and save these rear tires, because they go off extremely quickly. And we were only doing 10-minute races yesterday in ARA, and they were already going off towards the end. So for these drivers to race for 40 or 50 minutes, yeah, they really do need to save those rears, otherwise they will be in a world of pain when it comes to the end of the race.
It is certainly indeed, as that is Glamsetter looking down to the inside of Williams, unable to get a good launch down towards the inside. And a move down towards the inside at turn 1, it's very optimistic because it's such a fast first corner. I'd say it's one of the fastest first corners and easiest to misjudge, especially if you're new to iRacing, because you see a lot of drivers, yeah, going to set it down towards the inside of turn 1, then you realize when you learn the track a little bit more, it is a really fast corner, pretty wide too. And it's not sometimes the best move in low-powered cars. It's viable, but in these high downforce cars, it's certainly not viable.
Absolutely not. I don't actually think I saw any moves into turn 1 throughout any of the races yesterday, which, as you were saying, makes complete sense, because it's such a high-speed corner.
It's medium speed in high downforce cars.
Yeah, it's a high-speed corner in terms of turn 1s, as you were saying. It's one of the fastest. Thing about third gear in these cars, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, it is third gear. But now that you said that, what do you think the other fastest first corners are on iRacing?
Oh, dear.
Now, technicalities do not count like Imola's kink.
What, so just one corner? Like no chicanes or anything?
The turn. What do you think is one of the fastest turn first corners in iRacing? Road America is up there. Road Atlanta as well. Phil Wallers is in the pits. Actually, he's just brought into the pits and retired. But yeah, Road Atlanta and Road America are definitely really fast.
I was going to debate Red Bull Ring as well. Debatably. That's a fairly high-speed corner. It's similar to this in a way.
It's very sharp, though. Like, it's very sharp, and I do not see Red Bull Ring as that, because it's very sudden and sharp. And the exit could get that exit speed pretty slow, but I'll give you that.
Like, I understand where you're coming from. It is sharp, but it's still fairly high speed, especially in a Formula 1 car. It's still about 5th gear.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of high-speed turn 1s because it does cause a bit of chaos. And Sebring, yeah.
We saw that yesterday.
Over that. Yeah. Saw no moves into turn 1, I don't think.
Well, we saw a few moves, and they all ended badly, especially with 3 cars crashing into the wall. Formula 3.5 Championship, always exciting. To be right on board of Caleb Patry behind Julio Policio, up ahead in a pretty tight fight for 6th place.
Yeah, these little pockets of battles going on pretty much throughout the grid. Lado behind as well is only around 3/10 away from Caleb as well. So this battle for P6 is looking very spicy right now, but I don't know if there's much Caleb can do unless he absolutely sends it into this corner, which he has to think about, but just can't quite get the car to do what he wants it to do. Probably expected it to brake a little bit better than he wanted, but still going strong in P7 right now.
If y'all have a thought for, if anybody watching has a thought for other road courses, not rovals. I'm not counting rovals in this because yes, they're all
Daytona.
fast. Daytona turn one. Any road courses with pretty fast turn ones, put them in the chat. We like to see your track knowledge. Ooh, Zolder has a good turn one. That's pretty fast.
I completely forgot Zolder existed.
Lime Rock Park, Samuli.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just not a track I would want to race at, especially in these cars.
These are not tracks you want to race at. These are tracks with a high-speed corner.
It's kind of high speed.
Turn one. Oh, Detroit's pretty high speed turn one.
I'm not too aware of Detroit, if I'm being completely honest.
Aaron, come
But
on. I need your track knowledge. Come on. It's just me and Samuli right now.
But we see Caleb now falling under pressure from Laredo behind. Is he going to send it into this corner?
He's
thinking about it, and there's contact between the two.
Away.
Yeah,
Alex
you saw that coming.
Making contact with Caleb Patrick, and he pulls away. Caleb just now trying to catch up to Alex. It looks like Alex, after he did that contact, actually looked like he was going to be waiting. Yeah, but now he's kept on going. As right behind him, we got side-by-side action with Leonardo Cherry and Marcelo Kessler going side-by-side. Actually, that's Timu. It's Timu time around the inside. I'm getting a little bit crazy over here, but Timu Milkong is able to make that move on Marcelo Kepler.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent move. Pretty clean, to be fair, considering it was that little hairpin complex at the end of the track. And now he's going to try and chase after O'Cherry, who you mistakenly got him confused with just a few seconds ago. I don't know how.
Confused.
Yeah, I don't know how you got confused, since they're not even from the same country. Liveries are completely different. I have no idea.
Okay, so in SDK, both their iRacing cars are red. I'm looking at Timu, who's driving a red car, and oh no, this is...
You're really fumbling this, aren't you?
I'm still thinking of fast turn ones.
Thinking of fast turn ones whilst looking at a fairly speedy driver himself. Timu trying to get onto the back of Leonardo Cherry, but just sticking behind it around 3/10 right now. Oh, gets a big slide going into... Oh no. I've already forgotten the corner name. Going into that last corner that we just went through, that's good enough. But yeah, just trying to push as hard as he can right now. Don't laugh at me.
Corner names are in your area.
I'm good. I'm either really good with corner names or really bad. Okay,
bad one today.
No, Okayama, I don't know the track very well.
Well, luckily for you, I do. As we head into Red Bend Corner, turn 8, and heading into Hobbs, as Zolta Zomotor is battling it out with Richard Van Veen. Van Veen is right onto that gearbox as we approach Mike Knight Corner, flying it past this curb and into the aptly named last corner.
Okay, I know those. I know last corner and first corner. I know those ones at least, and hairpin. So I know a few, but it's not one of my tracks that I drive very often.
Well, luckily for you, if you're ever learning a track map and want to be an absolute nerd and impress your friends as we head through Williams Corner, luckily iRacing has your track map up there with the names.
I should probably learn that at some point. I am a commentator. This is my job. I need to learn these things.
5-year veteran trick. Most commentators don't know this.
You've been doing it for long enough. I've been doing this for a few weeks.
Tony Jimenez setting it up onto the inside at the hairpin. Beautiful move by Tony Jimenez. He really lined that one up, got into the draft, sent it down towards the inside, and knocked it out of the park. In a good way. Home run.
Yeah, that was a really clean move, and he's already pulled a fairly decent gap behind. So going well so far, trying to gain back some of the places that he lost at the start of the race, as he was involved in the absolutely chaotic start. But he's going well so far, just driving fairly cleanly, and hopefully he can make it into the top 20 by the end of the race.
Currently, right now, our biggest mover is up 37 positions, Christian Perez. I think anybody named Perez today is having a really good day. Up 37 spots. What a drive so far by the Spaniard.
Lost the first challenge incoming from Christian Perez. We wait to find out. We've still got a long way to go in this race, about 22 laps.
He started near the end of the field, but he did not start last.
Basically last, let's be honest. It's pretty much last. It's as last as you can get in this series. If you're starting below 40th, I count that as last in this series.
This grid is absolutely massive, so I totally see where that point is. And we all know Christian Perez, one of the highest I ratings in the field, 8,211. He's putting on an absolute clinic of lap times right now. The only driver that I see that is faster than him currently out of last lap was Jerome Lanley and Thiago Marteau.
Yeah, if he's keeping up with some of the leaders, you just have to wonder what he could have done from the front of the field.
It might have just been a bad qualifying session because the last two cars on the grid did not set quality laps. But Christian Perez, he probably just only got one lap in there, or maybe two.
Or didn't set any at all. Who knows?
No, he did set a quality lap.
Oh, he did. Yes, it was just incredibly bad. I mean, he had half an hour, so it is very odd to have a bad quali session. In this
he probably
league,
does what I do and just sucks at qualifying.
Well, he started from 58th, which, to be fair, out of a 62 car grid, and we have Alistair Hay. Ooh, that was close.
That was
from
spicy. Yeah. That was spicy right there, and it's even more spice as Alistair Hay sends it down to the inside. David Boutillard.
And he gets the move done, so fairly clean move from him. Trying to
swarming from David behind him, and here is Caleb Patry. Patry's got a good run heading into Redmond. Patry looking down towards the inside, trying to make a mistake out of David. David goes a little bit wide, leaving the space, but now David's going to have the inside line at Hobbs as we are side by side, and David able to just hold her out the inside as Cody Graham's up ahead of him has gone into the pit lane.
The only thing I can think of for him is damage. I don't think they have incident limits here in iGPFun. I think they do actually. It's just really high. Because long race, kind of
Incident
understandable.
count every 50x. I'm highly doubt that this is 50x, but he is taking tires, so I think it might just be a small amount of damage. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like it's just tires for Cody Graham's, who's going to pit at halfway into this race and then continue on. So Cody doing a rare iGPFun pit stop.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's really going to do much because
that's a bold decision, Cotton. Let's see how it works out.
These tires do go off incredibly quickly, and everyone will sort of be in the same boat. So he might be quicker for 5 or 6 laps, but I don't think, especially at the moment,
he's
on
not
cold
going to
tires.
He's not going to be quicker right now. After this first lap, he might have a little bit of pace, but it's going to take about 2 laps for him to get up to speed because Ben Goyette is going to try to look down towards the inside at the hairpin. He's a car lane behind him and gets onto the brakes a little bit earlier and gets back into the drive lane. Almost gets collected by Giovanni Soletto. Behind him as Soletto is looking down towards the inside. He's under pressure by Adam Townsend. Townsend swinging around to the outside at Revolver and into Piper, still around the outside. Double outside moves, and Adam Tausma with a wonderful move in that number 7.
He just seemed to have so much more grip than the other cars around him as these two get very close. This Putiklis, I'm so bad with names.
Putikelis.
There you go.
Putikelis, one of our rookie drivers, first season in iGPFun. He's battling third in the championship in the rookie standings as he is right behind Justin Friesens. He was side by side through Hobbs right there, and both these guys are having a good fight. Let's go back into turn 1. Yeah, they're going to be challenging each other heading into there to stay into that draft and keep those tires alive and not slide it through that corner. And here comes Oldest Putikelis with a good charge. Well, are we going to be seeing anything into Atwood curve, that turn 4 hairpin, or into the turn 5 hairpin, which is honestly where you want to be, but he's got to get that launch just right. He goes a little bit wide for that faster exit. He's all in that draft and line it up, lock and load, and here we go. Pudikelis looking down to the inside of the Canadian, sending it down towards the inside. Aldous Pudikelis makes the move work. Gets a little bit sideways off the exit, but that's just for a show right there. The 666. Aldous Pudikelis up into 30th.
I believe he's from Latvia, not Canada. Austin.
Justin Frieson's from Canada.
Yeah, you said he was sending it up the inside. I don't know. Maybe I'm going deaf. Probably. It's late. I'm tired.
I'm pretty sure I said Pudikelis up the inside of the Canadian.
You might have done. You are probably right. I'm going senile and I'm
dyslexic. I see letters. Oh no! It's Ido and Ridgeway. No. That is not Ridgeway. That is a lapped car of Arturo.
Mayagora. Yeah. Not quite sure what happened there. I think just awkward incidents happening at the final few corners.
Well, I feel like there's the fight. Oh, is he serving us? Oh, that is unfortunate. Oh, yeah. No. Ido. He just lost on himself, and Arturo was completely in an instant party, and this is Giovanni Saletto going slow at Atwood.
Did he lose it on the exit? Because that was very early in the corner.
He lost it on entry.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he lost it on the entry, but now we're side by side into turn 6. Nick Carty trying to defend from, I think...
Andy Flint. That's Andy Flint up behind him, and Erwin Collins up ahead. And Andy Flint, we know how much he loves making moves at Revolver and Piper, and he's going to put another bullet into the gun right there as he wants to line up a move heading into Redmond and Hobbs.
Yeah, I mean, he is number 13, so I don't have the highest hopes for those moves that he's going to try and pull off, but
it was Adam Talisman, his teammate, who did the double around the outside. But the Hydro Race guys, they love a little bit of action.
Well, I mean, we won't complain here in the commentary box. It provides much
side
needed
by side of hairpin, and Leonardo Cherry! Too much mustard coming out of the hairpin as he was side by side trying to get the better speed out of there. But unfortunately, he got too much of that, and that's front wing damage as well. Look at the front left.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate. The rears just completely let go on him, which is a very easy mistake to make at that corner. And yeah, he's just being swallowed now. But the good thing about Leonardo Cherry, though, is he doesn't give up. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. He refuses to give up. Which is great to see. He's going to come into the pits and hopefully come back out on track. Yeah, this pit exit is...
Pit entry is fair.
Very entry, my bad.
Very tricky. It's on the list of tricky pit entries I have, and yeah, that list is very long in my book. Spa, Laguna Seca, Road Atlanta here. Zolder as well.
Oh, Zolder.
That's a bad one. The new track coming to iRacing, which is being scanned in New Zealand. That one, I looked at Google Maps. Oh my gosh, that's chaos.
I'm trying to think of another one.
Potapenko and Tumakanis go side by side, and Potapenko goes a little bit deep into turn 1, and it was Tumakanis trying to do a little bit of setup, and now here comes Andy Flint joining the party as they fly through the Moss S's and heading into Atwood Curve. 3 wide for a little bit. The Vernon race car needs to walk down as inside contact at Atwood.
Oh, you could see that coming. He just could not get the car stopped.
There was chaos happening all around there. And I think it was just Tumakanis just trying to defend from the car behind him, and I forgot about the car ahead of him. And it's kind of just stuck between a rock and a hard place, and just too much speed heading into Atwood Curve right there. And they just made contact with each other, and I feel like he might give that spot back to Potapenko. We go on to replay. Let's ride on board of Andy Flint, as he has such a lot of speed on the Latvian driver, as Potapenko was already turning down and just kind of caught out. He just kind of caught him out right there.
Yeah, very awkward incident. It seemed like at the first stage of the braking zone, he was getting the car stopped perfectly fine, but I don't know if he let go of the brakes too early, which is a very odd mistake
I feel like
to
he
make.
might have saw Andy Flint charging up, and he wanted to defend by getting off the brake, and then he saw Putekelis moving down. That's a 3-car incident, technically involving 2 cars.
Yeah, very, very awkward and very unfortunate. Not for Andy Flint, though. He will be thanking his
He'll
lucky
take that
stars.
gift. He'll take that gift.
As we see Leonardo Ocheri now trying to defend from Andy Flint, who I'm not sure who's going to win out on this battle, but Andy Flint sending it into turn 5. Very clean move
Was
from
that
him.
a little bit too early, though? Because now Leonardo Ocheri is going to have that draft.
But you have to
And
remember,
I
Cherry's
believe-
on cold tires.
Ocheri is just under his breath. You just activated my trap card, and he's going to try to swing it around the outside. And now he's going down to the inside at Revolver, and it's not going to be there for Leonardo Ocheri. And I got to say, Revolver is the coolest corner name in the world. I'm a little bit biased, though.
I don't think Cherry's very happy.
Yeah, Ocheri, you see him just weaving the cars, already weaving the tires, just trying to generate more heat in there. He knew in his mind that he could have held that around the outside right there. And oh, that is John McKenzie around at Hobbs.
Oh, we need to be careful rejoining there and make sure no one comes up behind. But yeah, and we're starting to see a few more mistakes as we come on to lap 22 now of this race.
Oh, speaking of 22, there's Q Tiago Marteau, who last lap just put in the fast lap of the race.
A 21.9. Very, very good luck. I don't think
This might be
I've
faster.
seen- let's have a look as we wait and see.
Oh,
No, 23.7.
Okay, no, he had to slow down a lot on that last lap.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be anywhere near what he set on the previous lap. But he's not complaining.
That's about
He has
losing a second after gaining a second advantage. He doesn't really need to be pushing a lot. He's 7.4 seconds ahead. He just needs to be watching his tires and hopefully not wearing a hoodie while racing and sweating all of his weight off, which is what he was doing last week. And I don't know how he was able to do that if you're watching his Twitch stream, because you get to see the buckets of sweat dripping off of him. As this is little McIntyre Jones and Lucas Maruk. Maruk! Oh, he's got the speed of days heading down to the side. These two are teammates, so they're probably talking with each other and probably planning that, because the lap times have been in favor of Lucas Maruk. Side by side right behind him, Alex Aledo ahead of Julio Policio. There it goes side by side, and it goes back to advantage Alex at Revolver.
Yeah, just very, very clean. To be fair, a lot of the drivers today, when they do moves, they seem to be very clean, but a lot of them are fairly clumsy. We've not really seen much side-by-side action through the corners. It's sort of just been like send and drive off. It's not really been close like we saw in ARA yesterday, which you should definitely go watch. I was side-by-side with someone for, I think, an entire lap. That was very entertaining, and about the only entertainment we had all race. As you see, Marcelo Kessler now trying to fight for P8.
Woo!
Oh my lord, that was a lap car, I think.
That was the last car, and that's a lot of damage. That's a 76 of Nick Carty at Atwood Curve.
Yeah, I was just saying a few laps ago, some of these drivers are making a lot of mistakes. He has to be careful, though, as the leaders are now coming past him.
It's going to be a lot of tires now, and I feel like the tires going to be a big talking point for a lot of these drivers. They're just getting into small micro slides, and they're just going to be getting into tight situations side by side through Mike Knight. This is intense. Justin Friesen and Marquez Putekenis. And off the track is Justin. And Marcius and Richard Van Veen picking up a freebie right there. And also Andy Flint as well.
All picking up the leftovers from that. I'm not sure if he had a slowdown or he got damage from that.
He just went on. He just got into the gravel on the exit of the last corner. He just went a little bit wide.
Yeah, I saw that, but
Classic
just
Okayama.
at the moment,
You don't get a slowdown for that. You do not get a slowdown. Trust me, I know from experience.
fair enough. I was
If
just wondering
you get a slowdown from that, iRacing is pranking you. Oof. Ooh, that's a big look by someone, Fessy. Fessy trying to control the car as he's sent it into Hobbs. But it was able to be held out by Caleb Patry around the outside. as they get it lined back up. Brilliant fight for 10th place between these 4 cars, and soon to be fight for 9th, maybe 7th place. If they could continue this train up ahead, and I feel like they have joined that train. So yeah, let's bring on the fight for. I believe this will be 8th, known as a lap car ahead of them.
This lapped car is really getting in the way now. And I was just about to mention.
And advantage. Oh, contact! Simon Fessi was not able to be onto the inside. Caleb Patrick tried to hold it down to the outside. Unfortunately, I think Simon got a little bit wide in the middle of the corner, and contact was made. And now we're 3 wide on the back straightaway. Backing out of that one is one of the GT Omega cars. Is backing out there. That was Lee Aberdeen, as Simon Fessi leads this group through Revolvers, Fessi, Soares, and Aberdeen.
I think that contact was a slight bit of netcode as well. I don't actually think there was any physical contact. It was very close, obviously, but
it was.
I think it was just ever so slight netcode. So very unlucky for Caleb there. Was defending really well.
That's another slide by Simon Fessi exiting Hobbs. That's just, I would say, 3rd time I've seen that car just bite really hard heading into that corner. He's going to watch out. And oh, speed of watch out. That's Richard Van Veen at the hairpin. Going off into the grass and rejoining the track right there. And getting a freebie out of that, Leonardo Cherry.
These drivers are really starting to struggle with these tires. And also, for some odd reason, it's made them more feisty. They all want to fight each other now. They're all realizing, oh, our tires are dead, let's just send it anyway, which I'm loving. It's providing good entertainment as we see Lee Aberdeen trying to overtake.
It's like racing on ice. You just want to enjoy it. So I know some of the drivers at the start of this race took it very easy, didn't want to push the car, save these tires early on. And some of these drivers are now in conserve mode, and some of these drivers are just in full send mode. Speaking of full send, Lee Aberdeen full sends it down towards the inside.
Yeah, was just watching that move. Very good, and I predicted it about a corner before. Just got a really good exit out of turn 5, and easy as you like. Bob's your uncle up into 11th place, and now chasing after Simon Fessi to get himself into the top 10.
Pretty sure my uncle's name is not Bob.
Okay. So you can't tell me you've never heard of that saying before.
Oh, I know. I've heard the saying. I've always been confused because Bob is not my uncle. My uncle's name is Don.
Austin doesn't understand the joke. That's fine. We're going to move on. Luca Varani defending from Caleb Patrick, who must be rage driving right now after that incident that he had a couple laps ago. The lapped car just moving out of the way nicely there as we go into turn 1. Gap still at around 2/10 between these drivers, and it is ever so slightly decreasing all the time. And I am going to predict that Caleb's definitely going to get the move done, but who knows? Glamsetter is right on the back of these two.
Glamsetter's looking feisty. I feel like Glamsetter is going to be surprised on Patrick. Patrick's going to get the draft, but he's going to get surprised by Glamsetter, and I feel like this might turn into a 3-way fight. Luca Varani defending onto the inside, and I believe this is going to be Glamsetter. He's going to go onto the outside. Patrick, late move onto the outside as well. Oh. Patrick, big send around to the outside, but Varani held it around to the outside. Did you see that burst of speed that he had heading into Revolver side by side? Here is Glamsetter trying to sneak his way through there as we head into Piper. Glamsetter taps the wheel of Varani, and also that's Tony Mendes going off the track as well.
And I think Varani has nearly driven himself into the wall. He had to stop
he's
the car before he did.
But heartbreak for Glamsetter and Varani. But I would say the biggest heartbreak would be for Luca Varani right there. Christian Glamsetter, well, he's trying to fight that as both these guys are stuck up in the moment. Glamsetter is trying to take a very advantageous line, and it looks like heading into Piper. Varani just let him by, trying to go for the cutback to get back into that draft to defend from Glamsetter, but Glamsetter is right there already on him. And I gotta say that I think that's on Luca.
Really? I'm not so sure.
I think Glamsetter was already beside Luca heading into there, but
it's a very sticky incident.
Glamsetter was already looking down towards the inside, and Luca was side by side and backed off. You know,
very
overall.
Very
overall. I feel like Luca might say I'm wrong and I should not be a super.
I think it was Glamsetter's fault as Fessi goes for a moving up into 9th place. on Marcelo Kessler. That was a very clean move. Again, into turn 6. Possibly the best overtaking opportunity on this track. You've got the long straight and then a heavy braking zone. Always a favourite, especially in these types of cars where the draft is just so powerful.
Oh, that's a big send by Kepler behind him. Marcelo took a big slide through that corner, and there's another biting rear end by Simon Fessy. I see more tire marks by Simon Fessy as a new fastest sector 1 is set by Thiago Marteau. Up ahead, what's new?
I'm pretending to act surprised to hearing that, if I'm being completely honest, but Simon Fessy already pulling away from Marcelo behind, and now Lee Aberdeen is going to want a slice of the cake, and after him, Pedro Soares is also probably going to move up, as Kessler not showing the greatest pace at the moment. That last lap was pretty slow, as Lee Aberdeen just looks for a little fake into turn 5, and he's definitely going to get the slipstream. He's quite far back though, about 3.5 tenths behind, and he's going to have to absolutely send it into the hairpin if he wants to get this move done. The gap is around a tenth of a second. He's going for the move.
Big look down towards the inside. That's a very tight line, but Aberdeen gets his nose onto the inside, and now he's going to try to hold it around to the outside at Revolver, and he's got an advantage in turn 1. Let's see if he can do it as well. Lee Aberdeen around the outside of Revolver and Piper. Beauty of a move right there, as Pedro Soares wanted to go for a little bit of attack. Update on our biggest mover. Christian Perez was involved in an incident, and he's no longer our leader with, I think it was 31 overtakes that he had. It was 37 overtakes. Well, now our new leader is 23 overtakes by Jacob Olszewski.
No.
Jacob, it is at 23, I believe.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sorry, apologies. Actually,
there's a few drivers in the 20s. There are a few drivers in the 20s. We have Rory Collins down in 41st. He started on the last row. I believe. Alex Hopkins, he's got 20.
Okay, it's just my iRacing bugging out. That's perfectly fine. Okay, I thought
Lammy are side by side with Lucas Maruka in this fight for second place as they fly through Piper. And here comes Maruk defending him, the champion. He's got defended right there. Rolami was defending that pretty well, but Lucas Maruk on the attack, wanting to get to that second spot. So he takes that very tight inside line, as that's a wide line through Hobbs by Lamy as we fly through Mike Knight corner and into the last corner to set up this lap once more. As that's a little bit wide by Lamy. Here comes Maruk.
It might be a sentence to turn 1, possibly.
Well defended by Lamy. He's going to try to hold it around the outside and set himself up for Williams' curve, but the switchback is not going to be alive for him right there. But Maruk is definitely on pace and on edge right now as he's chasing down Jerome Lamy, as they are nose to tail with each other. Flying into Atwood curve, the switchback by Maruk. Maruk's got a nose onto the inside with that switchback right now as they go side by side, ace into this corner, getting into the draft right now. His teammate, Will McIntyre Jones, is joining the fight as we got a three-way fight for second place. As here goes Maruk. Maruk sending himself up for the outside line. He breaks late. He swings it around to the outside at the hairpin, but Lamy is able to hold it away, and he defended that very well for the upcoming corner at Revolver. But we got a 3-car fight for second place here.
Yeah, Jerome just absolutely defended that inside for his life into the hairpin, which is pretty much all you can do into that corner, as it gives you the optimum line for the next corner and the one after that, to be honest. So defending superbly there, and Maruk starting to fall away just a tiny bit on this lap, but I can imagine he will be on the gearbox of Lamley very, very soon. As we start lap 32 for these guys, only about 5 laps to go now.
Yep, 5 laps to go here at Okayama, and I would say the best seat in the house to watch this from is from Will McIntyre, as he's at the back of this fight, and I think he's going to be enjoying this up ahead. He's going to be in comms with Lucas Maruk, both teammates and defending team champions as well. They both want to be finishing this race, and they might be working up a little bit of strategy with each other. Let's ride on board to Lucas Maruk as we ride in the draft of Lamy, and I'm definitely going to see Jerome going to be pushing down that inside line. And Maruk, oh, he was going to go to the grass right there. Big send around the outside by Maruk, but Lamy is still right there. Maruk, oh, he kind of stalled out middle of the corner. He could have carried that speed and tried to hold it around the outside, but middle of that corner, that corner's kind of stalled out, and he just didn't want to risk it around the outside.
Yeah, if Maruk wants to get this overtake done, he's going to have some major balls on him, and he's going to have to send it away for a mistake.
Lamy block up right there, and it's definitely going to take some cojones at Revolver side by side, wheel to wheel. Kepler and Pedro Suarez is able to swing it down towards the inside. That is some major move right there by Pedro Suarez.
I did say Suarez would eventually get past, and look at me, I'm a prophet. I predicted it, and I'm the opposite of a commentator's curse. I just predict everything, and it happens. So
who's going to get second place?
Oh God, I need to be careful with this. I'm going to say Maruk. I think Maruk has amazing momentum with him right now, and he's got a few laps to get the move done.
His sector 1 this lap was purple out of anybody, so Maruk is definitely on a charge. Lamy under pressure. They're diving both down towards the inside of the track. I think they might have touched right there on the back straightaway. They kind of even out the space. Maruk trying to hold it around to the outside. It's not going to work in the braking zone. He's going to try to go for a switchback on Lamy, almost being side by side at Revolver. Lamy defending into Revolver, and here we go, heading into Piper. Lamy defending once again, and here comes Maruk with the outside switchback, a wider line. He's definitely get the speed as we head into Redmond. They're still defending onto the inside, nearly side by side with a car, just a car links between them. I would say the front wheels, I would say, as Lamy still up ahead through Hobbs. And Maruk, I said that was one of the best chances that Maruk was able to have right there. He was forcing Jerome to defend for his life right there.
Yeah, I can't imagine the pressure that Jerome is under right now. But at the moment, he's keeping it cool. He's not making any mistakes. Only got 3 laps to go now, though. Lucas Maruk is running out of time if he wants to get this move done.
Goes a little bit wide. He's caught the gravel. He's saved the car, though, but that's going to be stepping down towards the inside. They're going to be side by side heading into Atwood Curve. Maruk on the outside. Lamy sends it through the inside, and here we go. Maruk's going to have that switchback opportunity right now, and Maruk's got the inside line at the hairpin. Maruk has got second place. And here's his teammate, McIntyre Jones. McIntyre wants 3rd place right now, but Lamy has got the speed around the outside. He's late braked it around the outside. Jerome Lamy takes back 2nd place, but Maruk is right there. Side by side they go. 2 laps in a row at Revolver. Lamy forces Maruk out wide. Maruk getting into the gravel, and that is going to be the end of that fight right there, as that is Reed Dennis in the background. A lapped car down to 35th. He was loosened in the background. Lamy gets out wide, back stepping it out, wagging around like a dog at a barbecue. As these cars are looser than loose right now.
Oh, you had to be careful with what you were just about to say. But yeah, as soon as I started speaking, Jerome makes a mistake, so I'm just going to shut up now and just commentate over what is going on. But Lucas has amazing momentum with him right now, and I really do think he should have gotten that move done last lap, but wasn't brave enough on the brakes into the hairpin.
That's a good opportunity. Maruk with a switchback. Lamy once again going out a little bit wide. These tires are cooked. These tires are roasted. These tires are a little bit rocky as it goes into the gravel. Maruk still side by side, heading once more into Atwood Curve. But Lamy much more controlled. Oh, right into the line of Maruk, and the teammates almost got into contact with each other.
Oh my lord. Oh, Netcode was on their side that time. And surely Maruk is gonna have to be brave on the brakes into this corner. And
well, he's in his line. He knows this line. He's just got to keep that line upright. Goes wide off the exit. Really defends that well by onto Lucas Maruk. And the advantage is still Jerome Lamy ahead of Lucas Maruk and Will McIntyre Jones, who I gotta say is probably like us and just enjoying this. But, oh, hello, that's one car spun around right there. He's got to watch out because Alex Lado might be joining this fight as well.
It's still a fair gap, to be fair, behind Lado. But, I mean, if we get a 4-car fight for a second, I
If
will
we
not
get a
be
4-car
complaining.
fight, I will request a new lung from iGPFun and Luca.
It is white flag though for Marteau. We haven't really spoken about him much this race, but he has a 13-second lead.
Speaking of Lato, new fastest lap of the race.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Great job from Laredo last lap.
As
for him.
Marteau leads out the field, currently nobody around him, and I believe he's actually in the final corner right now, as on the other side of the track. Actually, no, he's halfway through. He's halfway through the track. I thought he was near there,
He's not
but
that far ahead.
I got confused with turn 5 and turn 9. Lamley defending onto the inside. Maruk on the pressure. Maruk found the inside, but he's going to switch. He's still the fakie around the outside. Trying to sell the W. Jerome's gone wide. Jerome's defending onto the inside. Maruk trying to hold it around the outside. Doing for the switch pick at Revolver. But Lamley, once again, well defended. Playing the smart game. Defending by Lucas Maruk by faking defending. And Maruk selling the fake down towards the inside. Well, that could have been Maruk's corner if he went down towards the inside, but Lamley going wide at the exit of the hairpin as QTR Marteau comes across the line and takes the win. Okay, enough of that guy. Let's go back to the fight for second. Show off. As Lamley comes around the last corner, goes a little bit wide, catches a little bit of gravel. Maruk is chasing down. He's diving towards the wall and holding it off for second place is Jerome Lamley ahead of Lucas Maruk. Lamley went so far down to the inside, he's actually entered the pit lane. McIntyre Jones in 4th, Alex Lato in 5th. Wow, what a final few laps right there. We still got action out there on track. Verani in the 222. Putting some pressure on Marcus Otalas. As there he goes side by side through Mike Knight corner. Otalas and Quark Williams are side by side. Last lap, last corner, last opportunity for these two. But here comes Verani with the speed. Verani's got Williams right there. Verani into 18th. He's got nothing though on Marcus Otalas. Verani though is going to finish 18th. Marquez Otalas in 17th. Clark Williams in 19th coming across the line. Cody Graves with the fresh tires comes across the line in 20th. As wow, that was a lot of fun.
I'm genuinely speechless on that last lap. That was incredible. I do think Lucas Maruk definitely had some opportunities that he missed out on, especially on that last lap. I do think that was his best opportunity. But congrats to Jerome though, held on beautifully to second place. But the man at the top, Marteau, unstoppable today as usual. Fastest lap goes to Laredo though by 100th of a second from QT at the top.
Also QT with the I gotta say the very rare J turn at the line. You know,
that was very impressive. The
stewards might look at that and might give him a time penalty. It might be 2 5-second time penalties, so maybe a 10-second gap here, but I still think that would be enough for him.
Yeah, I don't think they'd take a win away from him for that. Especially, he kept it on the track.
I hope you understood that. I hope you understood that reference.
I did. Don't worry. But that was an incredible race. And also, someone who went very under the radar today. Team U up 7 places.
I think this is a new thing by most of the drivers. They're all doing in-laps. I'm going to be honest. I love an in-lap.
I do, but it depends on the mood.
I love leagues that do in-laps, okay? I feel like everyone should be doing in-laps. It keeps it more realistic, and it involves everybody just to cool down, do a little driver salute, or buzz the tower of somebody you're really not happy with.
Someone, the Top Gun fan. Oh dear, that was an absolutely mental end to the race.
If you do not have a smile on your face right now, you probably do not have a working mouth muscles, because it is impossible not to have a smile after that, because wow, that was a lot of fun to watch. And this is going down in as a classic iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by SRP Results. And speaking of results, Aaron.
Yes, as the results for your race today, QT at the top taking the win, as he has done so far in every single race this season. GG's to him. Jerome Lanley just holding on in second place. Lucas Maruk in third. Will McIntyre in fourth. Loedo in fifth. Julio Palacio in sixth. Teemu in seventh. A great race for him. Alistair Hay as well, up 9 places. Simon Fessy in 9th. Lee Aberdeen in 10th. Pedro Soares in 11th. Caleb Patry in 12th. Tony Jimenez in 13th. Evan Way in 14th. Christian Glamsetter in 15th. Marcelo Kessler in 16th. Marquez Ortzlovs in 17th. Luca Verani, disappointing result for him, in 18th. Clark Williams in 19th. Cody Grams in 20th. Jacob Osleski in 21st. Adam Talsma 22nd. Zoltan Zamota in 23rd. Linus Malm in 24th. Irvis Timu Canis in 25th. Robert Widgway in 26th. Giovanni Salatio in 27th. Reed Dennis 28th. Justin Friesen in 29th. John McKenzie in 30th place, up 20 spots. One of our highest moving drivers today. Andrea Brachetti in 31st. Nick Carty 32nd. Andy Flint 33rd. Leonardo Ocheri 34th. Down 24 places. I believe I may have gotten the results wrong. I'm just reading off iRacing live timing. I will read them off iRacing instead. Marcis Putikenis in 27th then. I don't know where I got up to actually. This is all over the place. I'm just reading off iRacing live timing. We'll go from 28th. Ben Goyeti in 28th position. Linus Malm in 29th. Irvis Timu Canis in 30th. Robert Widgway in 31st. Giovanni Salitio in 32nd. Reed Dennis in 33rd. Justin Friesen in 34th. John McKenzie in 35th. Nick Carty in 36th. Clems Poonsengruber in 37th. Richard Van Veen in 38th position. Alex Hopkins in 39th. Paolo Brem 40th. Rory Collins in 41st. Dorian Arroyo in 42nd. Martin Devine in 43rd. Ulis Putikillis in 44th. Stuart Millen in 45th. Pudipenko in 46th. Reno Schittini in 47th place. Then we have Matthew Brewer in 48th. Matthew Gracie 49th. Ivan Kostamski in 50th place. JR Skomba in 51st. David Butala in 52nd. Massimo De Laurentiis in 53rd. Mohamed in 54th. Itaho in 55th. Arturo Mayagora in 56th. Christian Perez, after having an amazing start, down in 57th place, just one place above where he started. Then Phil Waller in 59th, or 58th, my apologies. Nicholas Westman in 59th. Darren Rowlandson, disappointing result for him, in 60th place from 13th on the grid. Pedro Perez Yarba in 61st, and Jared Cabrera in 62nd. And apologies for getting some of the results wrong. I believe my iRacing live timing was a little bit bugged, but nevertheless, that was still a chaotic race.
It was a chaotic but a very fun race here at Okayama. Next week, we head over to Sonoma, another track with a very fast turn one. And thank you once again to everybody who watches these races week in and week out, either live or on replay after a VOD. Hello, everybody at iGPFun at the watch party. Thank you to Virtual Racing School and SimRacingPro.com. Remember, check out their new R Series line of pedals over at www.simracing-pro.com. I've been joined by Aaron Smith with Samuli Kumo in the production booth. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.